Let's go!
Her heartbeat was one of the first sounds he heard. Never could he imagine at his tender age of 15, it would stop. On November 13, 2003, everything in Jebril Fresh Jalloh's life changed forever. His mother passed away and was now his angel. There he was, years later at Paris Fashion Week for a Puma event. He told himself one day he too will work with Puma. A year later, a man walked into his store, handed him his business card and told him Puma wanted to create a shoe with his team. Now, as the CEO of the Get Fresh company, Jebril is taking the fashion scene by storm. With a highly successful clothing brand and a store on Toronto's Queen Street West, Jebril is as fresh as it gets. Ladies and gentlemen, Jebril Fresh Jalloh.
Straight out of the T-Dot.
That's what it is.
Live from the 6 boroughs.
Don't go nowhere.
For sure. Welcome to Standing in the 6 with your hosts Michael and Constantine.
Yes. No sleep for the dealers.
There you go. Well, good morning, everyone, on this gloomy but wonderful beautiful day. Exactly.
Day for the city.
Exactly. It's a great day today, specifically because we got Jebril Jalloh in the house from Get Fresh, and man, just diving right into it. We always say this to all our guests. Being that we have the security, the security entity of what we do, we like to do background. So we did your background, man, and and it checked out nice, man. It checked out nice. You know what I mean?
Good, I'm glad.
I'll tell you this, man. Just the little that I've been reading about you and what you're doing, and you've kind of only been on my radar for a couple of weeks. I mean, the fact of the matter is, it's one of those things where you talk to someone, but you can't put the face to the voice.
Yeah.
So I know of the stuff that you're doing by your clothing, but I've never connected it to you. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And our circles pretty much are all interconnected.
His reputation supersedes him, but now he's here.
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly.
So we can maybe get some free merch.
Yeah, exactly. But I'll tell you the amazing thing about what you're doing, and it's kind of what we were just talking about a couple of minutes ago, and why did we do what we're doing? We like to highlight people that are repping the city, and literally, whether you know this or you don't, but you are essentially kind of like creating an inspiration to other people. Okay, and that's who we kind of like to connect with, because to be like-minded with individuals that can do that, you can truly change someone's outlook on something and maybe what they're doing, or to better themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So,
from what I read about you, Jebril, and how you want to rep the city and the stuff that you're doing, it's very impressive. Very impressive. And I love that, man. It goes in hand with everything about the city and what we're doing and how we're representing. You know what I mean?
Yes. It's good timing, too.
It is.
Timing. We talk about how the city is like a young adolescent, but it's coming into its own.
Definitely.
So when people like yourself help to shape the image and start to give it some legs where it's truly maturing, then you have moments like last night with Kawhi hitting
Major.
the shot.
That's right. Changing the game.
Shot in the T-Dot.
Yeah.
Man. So you were saying, you got to hear this. Share where you were when you were watching the game.
I was just laying in bed watching it. Sundays was my relaxing day. I tried not to do anything really on Sundays.
Right.
I was just sitting in my bed. I got like a 70-inch TV screen
nice.
at the foot of my bed.
At the 70 inches at the
foot.
So
you're inside the TV.
Yeah, you're in the arena. You're literally in the arena. You got like a drone angle. It's as if you're like on top of the court.
Yeah, definitely. It's great. I was just laying there with my girl, and we were just doing some work in bed watching the game. And it was just I got really stressed when that foul got called on Lowry. I was like, yo, we cannot lose this game.
It was dramatic.
And sometimes I don't watch the game. I didn't watch the game before. I just had a feeling they were going to lose.
Right.
It's literally I feel like when we lose, I feel like I'm on the team.
You know
what I mean? It affects me the same way. I would be like that guy last night walking from the locker room in tears.
Right.
Yeah.
That'd literally be me after the end of the game. But something told me to turn the game on last night. I turned it on 10 minutes in, third quarter.
Okay.
And, it was crazy. Emotional roller coaster, but it was crazy. We killed it.
It's pretty amazing. There has not been. What is a more definitive Raptor moment than that moment? And we're talking. This is going to be 2 weeks late when it airs.
Yeah.
But it still will be fresh in the minds of Raptor fans. That when
2001
when Kawhi put to bed the
Yeah.
76ers.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
and rightly so. I didn't have much love for that team. I think they got some mad talent, but just as a team, you know,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
Well, man, I'll tell you this. We are moving into the next realm right now. But before we do that, let's dive right into you, man. I want to, I think it's always amazing to, see people where their journey started. Do you know what I mean? And kind of like what inspired them to kind of go where they're doing. A lot of times we fall into things that we never are planned, ever. You know what I mean? Like, for example, the Jebril, were you thinking always I want to get into the fashion level of things?
It was a dream when I was like 15 years old. I remember like every girl I would talk to back in the day. I'm like, yo, talk to me. One day I'm gonna own a store. And that used to be my little flex when I was younger. And I tell all my boys like, yo, one day I'm gonna have this store called Get Fresh. Some of my boys were like, really? Like, that's gonna be crazy.
Okay,
Yeah.
how did you? So you actually had the inception of the name at 15.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Like, is there any inspirations? Like fresh, like
There used to be
Fresh Prince,
Yeah.
or
No, like it was just like we were always like, me and my boys, we were always about fashion. We were always like, we gotta be the flyest in school. We
Right.
gotta like Yorkdale Saturdays. And I don't know if Yorkdale Saturdays is still a thing.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, I used to go to Yorkdale on Saturday and just flex.
So you grew up in the West End.
Yeah, I'm a West End baby.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Rexdale and James
Yeah,
Street.
yeah,
so.
yeah,
Yeah.
Good.
But yeah, it was just like, it was part of your culture. Saturday morning, you worked all week, hustled all week. Saturday morning, you'd hit Eglinton West,
Yeah.
hit C6's, hit
Yeah.
JD's, hit York Square, go to S'il vous plaît, go to
S'il
S'il
vous
vous
plaît,
plaît,
s'il
go to
vous
S'il
plaît.
vous plaît in Rexdale.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan's came out on Saturday. This
Yeah.
is before pre-selling and lineups and all that. It was just if you knew, you knew. There was
Yes.
no app
Right.
to let you know that
It's true.
Jordans were coming out on like
Yeah.
this Saturday.
Yeah.
You just if you were part of this culture, you knew.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we'd be there on Saturday, and we'd buy the sneakers, put them on our feet right then and there, put our old sneakers in the box,
Yeah.
in our backpack.
Yeah.
We would just flex.
Nice.
So it was just part of our culture
Right.
from back then, and I was just like, yo, every time I go to these stores, I'm like, I want to own something like this one day.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you just felt that vibe.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm going to do it. I have really, like, even my boys tell me you have powerful words. Every time they're like, yo, just say it because it'll probably happen. Like,
Right.
if I say something, it's definitely going to happen. It may not happen right at that moment, right
Yeah.
when I want it to, but it's definitely going to come to fruition.
So you had this entrepreneur spirit at that young age. Like, you weren't really focused on anything else. It was like, I want to get into ownership.
Yeah, so my mom worked a lot and hard, and I always seen the stress it kind of put on her.
Right.
And how just like she was just stressed out all the time. I don't know if she really loved her job. She was a child youth social worker.
Okay.
And she worked with YOs, like young offenders.
Yeah, yeah.
And like it was stressful, like the stories she would hear,
course.
and like,
Oh, yeah.
she'd come home all the time, and like me and my mom were like best friends, and she obviously couldn't tell me the exact situations because it's confidential, but
Yeah.
like I would have to deal with it as her son. Like, make sure you don't ever do this.
Right,
Make sure
right.
you don't ever do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And I'd be like, all right, cool. This is so stressful. And I'd see how hard my mom would work. And it was just like, I remember I made a resume. I remember YMCA. Some people from YMCA came to my high school and like middle school and taught us how to make resumes. And
Right.
I tried to get a job for like 3 weeks. Couldn't get a job.
Right.
And I was just like, all right, so what am I going to do? Just be broke? So I just like came up with hustles. I remember I used to have a paper route back in the day.
Yes.
And
Same.
like we just, I just come up with little schemes, whatever I could, how
Yes.
to make money. It's just
Yes.
kind of like what it's been from day one.
Okay.
I've never actually resorted to like, just like, okay, let me just go get a job. And I always been the type of person, like, I want to control how much money I make. I don't want anyone else to dictate that for me.
Nice.
Yeah. Same mind. I'm very like-minded.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just freedom.
Yeah.
My mom
absolutely.
never had any freedom. My mom literally worked all the time. By the time she came home, she was just tired. The weekend, she didn't really want to do much. She was just tired. I'm just like, in my head, I was like, I don't know how I was going to be able to work at a job and be able to take my mom out of this situation. So I'm like, I got to be an entrepreneur.
And you know what, man? There's nothing like getting punched in the face when you're trying to move into something and then getting knocked down, getting back up, getting knocked down. Failures in business, failure moments in business are always there, right? They define us.
1000%.
They define us, and they take us to the next level. Did you have any of those
part of
moments?
the journey,
Yeah,
man.
it's part of the. Did you ever have those moments where you're knocked down?
Of course, I still have those moments where I'm knocked down. I'm human. Like, I don't feel like Steve Jobs got knocked down. Like,
Yeah.
At his highest points, where everyone in the world was probably like, this guy could never be knocked down.
Right.
Yeah.
He got knocked down. I just think it's what it is. I think, like, you learn, right? Because, you know, when you're in control and you hit that height of success, the highest height of your success,
Yes.
whether it's financially, whether it's, like, whatever it is, you have a choice whether to, like, how do you enjoy it?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, do you
Yeah.
spoil yourself? And you know what I mean? Or do you kind of like just take that little time, celebrate, understand what you're doing, keep going hard? I feel like, especially when you never really had anything before, there's those moments when you get something, you just go crazy.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So it's like learning that, like I had to learn that over the last like 7 years of my life. It's like, all right, humble yourself.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have
in
one-
in moderation, right?
In
Just give it-
moderation, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Because no one tells you that. Everyone just kind of like goes with everyone's just excited to do whatever
Yeah,
Yep.
you're down to do. They're like, yeah, let's do it.
that's right.
You know, no one's like, nah, bro, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah. Do you have a defining moment that you can think of that, you were, overcome with something that could have taken you out, but you pushed through with it?
Like Kawhi's kind of shot
Yeah, exactly.
that bounced in. kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, bro. I mean, when I was 15, my mom died,
Oh man,
and my mother raised me.
right,
I never had a father in my life at all.
right.
So that was definitely a moment in my life that was like, my life changed. I went from like everything being good,
Right.
like I could do whatever I want, no
Wow.
worries in the world, till like one day,
Yeah.
November 13th, 2003, my whole life, every single thing I knew about my life changed.
Wow.
Like everything. It went from like what to wear today to where do I live?
Wow.
Yeah.
What do I do with my little sister?
Right.
What am I going to do with my life? How am I going to figure this out? How am I going to make sure that my mom didn't die for no reason?
Right.
And that I'm not out here wasting time. And
Yeah.
that was like definitely, I was at a crossroads in my life of like where to go. It was a crazy time in the city. It was like, year of the gun. A lot of people
Yes,
around me were
I
dying. A lot of
remember
people
that.
were going to jail. There wasn't any opportunity
Right.
back then. Like Toronto now and Toronto then is like two different worlds. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't any opportunity for me to do anything really. It was like
Right.
either I'm gonna go to the streets
Right.
and be a victim of what the streets are,
Right.
or I'm gonna figure out how to get out of this and become who I am today.
Nice.
So I would say that was my biggest challenge.
You
that
had
I've
to be a
ever
man
faced.
at that point. You had no
Yeah.
other option.
I was always
Yeah.
a man. I'm
Yeah.
sure everybody says this.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was always. My mom would always be like, "Do you think you're a man?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm the man of the house. I'm
Yeah.
the man. I'm the man
Right.
of the house." So
Right.
I always felt like that, but definitely when my mom passed away, it was like, okay,
Like you got to
put your
step up.
pants up.
Yeah.
There's no time.
Wow, man.
What'd you have to do as a family? I mean, how much younger is your sister?
My sister is 22. I'm 31.
Wow.
So,
okay, so
yeah.
she was young, man.
She was a baby, so she went to go live with. We have different fathers, so
Yeah.
she went to go live with her father. But I would literally I remember I hustled. I bought a car
Mm.
when I hit 16. I didn't even have a license,
Yeah.
and I would drive. She lived in Windsor. I would drive to go see my sister every single weekend.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'd hustle all week. I had to drop out of school. I couldn't pay bills and stay in school, so I dropped out of high school, and I would literally just work all week. And every single weekend, I'd drive down and go see her, and then drive back to the city.
Wow. Okay. So
Bro,
not a
that's tough, man.
not a typical teenager life that
No.
kind of just do what you want
Yeah.
and come home.
Yeah. My childhood began 5 years ago.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had my
Wow.
last 5 years was my all right, I'm going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, okay, let me calm down. And
So let me ask you this. They say, I mean, I've heard the saying. It was said to me growing up by a youth pastor, and he would say, "Show me your 5 closest friends, and I'll tell you who you are as an individual." Growing up, to kind of get you to be where you are right now, was your circle positive? What I mean by positive, reinforcing. Sometimes you can be around negative people. They're cool people, but they're negative people. They can kind of crush a dream. Did you have a positive circle, or is that another obstacle that you had to kind of overcome as well?
My tight circle was positive.
Right.
We were good kids overall. Like, we were just like, we were always ambitious. All my boys were very ambitious. We always, whatever we did to make money, we were just like always like, all right, cool. We never wanted. I was never into violence. We were never into like the whole gang side of things. We were always just trying to like, like, let's just make money. Let's just stay positive. Let's do good things. Even if problems came our way, we'd be the first people to try to like squash it. And like, listen, we just were never about that beef. We were just always about positivity and growing. And to this day, and anyone who wasn't, people change as time goes. Anyone who wasn't about that positivity, they're just no longer around me.
Right. You reference in like other articles that I read that you used to sell your clothing out of the trunk of your car to get things going.
Trunk life.
Trunk life, yeah.
That's what we call it.
Tap into that a bit, man. Like,
yeah,
how did that kind of go up?
Is this out of the car that you didn't have a license for?
Yeah, it was. It was. You know what it was? Is like everything back then it was like out of necessity.
Right.
Yeah.
Like bills were due on the 1st.
Right.
Rent was due on the 1st. I was lucky. Shout out to any of my old landlords back in the day that rented to a 17-year-old
I know, man.
kid who trusted me and believed in me. Because, nowadays it's like, and back then it's like a 17-year-old kid coming to rent from you. You'd probably be like, what? No, I know. We're your parents. So it's like, but it was out of necessity. And like, I always wanted to be able to run my own show. So it was like, you know what? I could sit in one place and try to sell clothes, but people aren't in one place, so I gotta go drive. So I literally drive to different hoods all over the city.
Right.
Mississauga, Hamilton, Guelph, Kitchener, St. Catharines, Niagara. Shout out to everybody in those cities who made this dream possible. But yeah, I was on the road.
What kind of apparel were you selling at that time frame?
I was selling Crooks and Castles.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was selling this brand called Gramercy from LA.
Okay.
I was selling this brand Black Label from New York.
Okay, how old are you right now? At this age right now?
31.
No, at that time. At the time that you're doing...
This is like 16 to like 21.
And you're right now selling gear.
Now I'm selling my own clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but back then, I was literally just like buying and selling wherever I can get.
Okay.
I used to go to like this store in the mall and like try to negotiate deals like, yo, let me get a better price. I'll buy X amount. And then, then I was just always buying and selling. Like I used to walk, me and my boy Jebril, we used to walk the border, the Rainbow, what was it? The Rainbow Bridge.
Yeah, by Niagara Falls, yeah.
Yeah, to go to Prime Outlets.
Yes.
This is when like race car jackets were like the biggest thing.
Yes.
And we found an outlet center. I don't even know how I found out about this place.
Right.
But I found out this outlet center, Jeff Hamilton. I think Jeff Hamilton was a designer.
Okay.
And he had an outlet center in Niagara Falls, New York. We'd go there. I remember jackets were like, I could tell you the price now.
Yeah.
It was 15 years ago, like $10.
Right.
So we'd go and we'd literally buy 100 of them.
Right.
Yeah.
And we would literally walk the border. So my cousin's boy, Tim, he was like the only guy I knew with a car.
Yeah.
And he had money. He was like, yo, I like to shop. So he's like, yo, I go to the Nike outlet in
Yes.
Niagara Falls.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, really? I'm like, can I come with you? He's like, yeah. So I'm like, all right, cool. We'd go to the outlet and I'd be like, yo, I'll be back.
Yeah.
I would never really tell him to flex. He didn't know that I was going to America.
Right.
And coming back, I'd have all these bags, put them in his trunk, and he'd be like, well, what? He's like, yeah, I just bought some shoes. Like, you know what I mean? I wouldn't tell him to flex.
Right.
But like, we used to cross the border, and this is like,
There's not many people that walk the border.
Yo, walk the border in the winter.
Yeah. No.
Wow,
in the winter
I mean,
with a health card, no passport.
That's dedication.
Yeah.
That's dedication.
I wasn't even 18. I remember we got stopped by this guy at the customs office, and he was like, he looked at me. He's like, "What are you doing?"
He's like,
"Where are your parents?"
Right.
I was like, "Oh, they're actually at the outlet." Like, I didn't even have parents at the time. I'm like, "Oh, they're at the outlet."
Yeah.
they're getting ice cream. They're getting ice cream.
Yeah, they're like,
they love pretzels and cheese. You know?
Sorry. And he's like, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, do your parents know where you are? And I just like, he's like, what's in the bags?
Yeah.
And then like, I never had like a negative mind. So I'm not thinking like, I could have been bringing drugs over,
Right.
guns over, whoever.
It's all innocent.
I wasn't thinking like that, right?
And you for sure had a baby face. You look young still.
Yeah.
I know a
Thank
baby
you.
face when I see one. You can't grow
got
nothing.
one. You
Yeah.
got
one.
Forever young. You
So
know?
I was like, I remember I broke down. I just told him, I was like, all right, bro, I'm gonna tell you. And I kind of gave him a quick 2 minutes of my story. I'm like, yo,
You hit him up a little.
yeah, just
Yeah.
like, yo, mom died. I got bills to pay. This is my situation. This is
Wow.
what I do. All that.
Really?
And the guy was like, he looked like he was ready to tear up.
No, I know.
Wow.
Shout out to that customs office.
It's
I don't-
amazing.
Um,
Because that's real talk. He's not expecting
Yeah,
that.
and he opened his wallet and he's like, "Yo, take this business card." I'm like, "What is this?" He's like, "This is my brother. He's a taxi driver." He goes, "It's not safe for you to walk around here like that, especially when you get into Niagara Falls. New York.
Right.
It's not safe for you. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna call him before you come in, before you're coming down, and I'll
come
make
get
him
you.
pick you up from the border,
Yeah.
bring you to the outlets, and then bring you back safely."
Yeah. Yeah.
This is
Bro,
the
that's
customs agent.
that's crazy,
Yeah.
man.
This is the customs agent.
That's
and
amazing.
Then
He's helping you get it done now.
Yeah, so at that point I'm like, okay, I know I'm supposed to be doing this because the
Yeah.
light's just shining on me. So
Did you give him a jacket for that?
yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Really?
I did.
Yeah.
He
Nice.
no, you know what? I tried to give him a jacket and he couldn't take legally.
Not allowed, yeah.
conflict of
Legally, he
interest, yeah.
couldn't take it.
So you left it in the taxi for his brother to
Yes,
give it to?
exactly. Exactly, because I was like,
That's
all
how it
right,
works.
like now I'm like bribing custom agents and stuff like that. I don't want anything to be like,
Yeah.
Adding that to your resume.
yeah, you know what I mean. But nah, he was. I don't even remember his name. I wish I could, but yeah, he was definitely a major part of bridging these gaps and literally, I guess, with being the border agent, but helping to who I am today.
Right.
I actually say that as an actual example to people that you don't need to convince or try to sell anybody on what you're doing. You just got to do it. You got to go. People follow the tongue in your shoes versus
Yep.
the tongue in your mouth. And, something I would say on the regular, power's in the decision. When you make the decision, you're going to go. So just think geography. I'm going to Miami.
Yeah.
If you're really going to go there, you're not waiting for anything. You literally check Expedia, whatever it is. If it doesn't work, you just start walking. Someone at some point will be like, "What are you doing? What are you doing, son?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "I'm going to Miami."
Right.
And when
I
you're
agree.
when you're in Manitoba, they're like, "Look, you went the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Get in my truck, and I'll get you there." And I'm a firm believer that people, they will, even if they think you're crazy, they'll know that you really mean it. And they will find a way to open a door. They'll make a call for you. That's a perfect example. You're walking the border in the winter to go into America where you're carrying all this merch. It's not
It's a
safe.
long walk.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a long walk,
It's
man.
a long walk.
I think there's one pizza joint that you can get some food.
Yo, it's a long
That's
walk.
a long, cold
And-
walk.
But it was that determination, that dedication. It's just my hunger at that level. I always try to tap that level of hunger. But,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard. It's when you hear artists first album, it's so crazy.
Yes.
Then after that, it's still good, but it's different. But it's
Yeah.
to tap that is what I always try to challenge myself. But it was just different.
A lot of times in any success, and I'm not talking about in business, but it can be in people that are athletes or musicians, and we've said this before. There's one thing that we hear all the time with our guests like yourself, and it's the hustle, man. The hustle and the grind to kind of get to where you're going. And when I was looking at some of the stuff on your online and kind of you have a little video clip, No Sleep for the Dealers, man, I'll tell you that resonated with me, man, because I firmly believe. I mean, that phrase could be coined in many different phrases, right?
Yep.
However, 100%. I mean, first of all, so people can understand what they mean by that, because people are going to have all these different
Yeah,
mindsets.
for
What
sure.
what exactly
And for
do you
sure.
mean dealer?
And it
Yeah.
can
You know
be
what I mean?
misinterpreted.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh
So-
my goodness, honey, he is a dealer.
Yeah.
I can tell.
Yeah.
1,000%. There's a million people out there right now. You see?
Yeah, there you
I
go.
told you.
Yeah, so we're gonna destroy that subconscious bias right now, and I want you to
Can
just
we get an interpretation?
Yeah,
of
I'm
No
actually
Sleep for the dealers.
Well, I'm gonna let you do that. I want you to talk exactly what you meant by that, because that is actually one of your clothing lines as well right now.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
so it's a camp. It's pretty much what it is. It was a collection. It was our fall winter 2018 collection.
Right.
But it was a phrase that I've just been saying forever. One of my big homies actually came up with it, and it's pretty much just dealer isn't the actual what everyone thinks. Not
Right.
everyone thinks, but most
Right.
people think drug dealer.
Right.
Yeah.
We're all dealers.
That's right.
If you're a teacher, you're dealing knowledge to
That's
your
right.
students.
Good.
Yeah,
Well said.
if you're a security guard
Right,
or
right.
close protection or whatever you want to call it, you're dealing a service.
Right.
everyone, if you work at McDonald's and you're selling burgers, you're dealing burgers. Like,
Right.
no matter what you are, you're a dealer.
Right.
You're delivering a service to
Right.
the world.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just like the whole thing with the whole premise was like, like keep working your butt off. Keep like there's gonna be those days where you're like, oh my God, like you're stressing out, things are getting so hard. But it's like, hey man, you want to achieve that level of success.
Right.
It's no sleep for the dealers.
Right.
When you're up at 3-4 in the morning in Starbucks or Tim Hortons and you're doing your homework and you got that exam the next day, you know why. It's no sleep for the dealers. This is what we came here to do. So, let's get it.
It's phrased excellent. And like you got guys like Mark Cuban that will say things like, for any person who's out there just doing his thing and maybe wants to rest, there's somebody else out there going twice as hard. You know what I mean? And who's not resting, is not giving up. It's like the turtle and the rabbit kind of race thing, right?
1,000%.
You know what I mean?
And I feel like now even more with Instagram, it's more like you could see it more. Before Instagram, I'd be up 3-4 in the morning. There's days I would do 12 hours on set. I used to be a wardrobe stylist. 12 hours on set. I would leave set, go home, work, like do computer work or be on Kijiji posting my ads to sell my clothes, lining up my appointments with customers. I would go like 3-4 days. I don't recommend that.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't recommend that because it's bad for your health. But like that's where I was at because I was determined to get to where I'm at now.
It's the power of focus, man. Everything just kind of dissipates. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You don't think about eating, sleeping, nothing.
So how many hours were you pushing?
My girl stresses me. She's like, you got to sleep 8 hours. She'll like bully me to sleep. But
Yeah.
I still don't. I get like 6 hours
Yeah.
a day.
Yeah.
Sundays is like my day. I'm getting like almost 10.
Right.
I'm like in relax mode all day.
Right.
Just family
With
and
70,
chill
with
and-
70 inches. 70 inches
Yeah,
at the feet.
Wow.
I love
Because
that.
I feel like, I know sleep's very important. That's like one thing. Like, when you tell me no sleep, I don't want you to like not sleep at all.
Yes.
It's just more of like my whole thing is like, if you can party till 3 a.m., make sure you can work till 3 a.m.
Yeah.
If you can do things till 6 in the morning, make sure like fun things, make sure you can work till 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like I don't because everyone's got excuses like, oh, I didn't do this because of this and I couldn't do this because I didn't have
You gotta be
time.
able to do both. No, I know.
Yeah, I'm like, that's not. I would leave the club at 3 o'clock in the morning, come home, like go eat Chinese food, leave the club, come home and work.
Right.
You know
So
what I mean?
so let me ask you this, because look, entrepreneurs, one of the things that I find they have a problem with, and I'm speaking for myself. Maybe you may not have this problem. Maybe you've already mastered it. I work for the city, and I basically built a hustle on to kind of help get to where we are with Sentinel. Okay. However, in that time frame, people now ask me, because I left the city and I'm just doing this. They'll be like, "Man, it must be easy now. I mean, it must be nice." I'm like, "Actually, no. It's the complete opposite. Now there is no switch. I mean, the switch is always on, and my struggle is to take that switch and turn it off, right? Which is almost impossible, right? Meaning, if I go away on vacation or if I want to do this, the mind's always moving. So your days are literally like 17, 20-hour days. How do you deal with something like that when stress, having a business, and just having a balance, right? Where you have your work-life balance, and then you have your family balance. Like, you know what I mean? If you know the secrets,
honest
tell me.
answer,
Yeah.
I don't know yet. I'm still.
Okay, yeah.
I'm still.
So we're searching together.
I think it's like. I think it's something. So every time I have the opportunity to meet an entrepreneur who's like 50 plus, 60 plus,
yeah.
70 plus, I always ask. I'm like, how did you balance? The same thing. Like I'm always like, how do you do this?
Right.
Like how do you have kids? How do you have a wife? How do you maintain friendships? How did you get to this point? And it's just, they're like, yo, practice makes perfect.
It's true. It is.
Practice makes perfect. And they're like,
there's no book. You can't read a book on that.
yeah. And it's just blocking out the time is like as important. You just got to make things as important. So it's like if it's family time, you literally. So when I have like my family time,
Yeah.
I won't even like touch my phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't even know where my phone is.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm literally like one of my little cousins took my phone and now
They're playing
on
with it.
YouTube.
Yeah,
And like
yeah.
I don't even like pay attention to it because I feel like you have to block. You just have to block that time out.
Right.
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't always do it. With my family, I do it a lot. I make sure I'm just like, all right, you know what? I don't even get to see my whole family all the time.
Yes,
so
yes.
It's like, who cares about this? But it's tough. Like wherever I go, I'll be on vacation. Me and my girl will be on vacation. I'm like, you know what? This is actually a good idea. If we actually did this, now I'm whipping out my calculator, and now we're going back and forth, and we're talking. And my girl's an entrepreneur too, so
Yeah.
it's like she's like the balance queen. I don't even
Nice.
understand how. I think women are stronger
That's women.
than men.
That's how they
yeah,
are.
women are
That's
just
how they are.
phenomenal.
They're just smarter that way.
Yeah, they've figured it out. But my girl's definitely like, I try to watch her. Like,
You know what? Because they pay
motivation.
attention. They pay attention to the things like,
Right.
you know, I have a headache because I haven't eaten, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna eat. You know, this is where we're guys are a little bit more headstrong.
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's okay, 4 more hours.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where we're
It's
foolish.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
great focus, but it's to our
Yeah.
demise a lot.
Yes,
you know.
we need women.
A couple of weeks ago, we looked after a designer that was in town. I'll give a code name, Hami Tilfiger.
Dope.
Okay, Hami Tilfiger.
Amazing.
He was speaking for a small group of about 100 people on innovation, and he sold his clothes out of his car. Okay, not too many people know that about his journey, because I mean, he literally, you know, Plaza Hotel, Plaza Hotel in New
Yeah.
York, the iconic hotel. There's almost like a kind of like a castle home that is on the top of the hotel. That's his place.
Okay.
Okay.
Watch Kings of New York.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's the like infamous like meet me at the Plaza Hotel. I'll give
Exactly.
you a job.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
He lived in
And
that suite.
He lived on the top. He lives in the top.
lived in that top
Wow.
suite.
Which is crazy, worth hundreds of millions. But like, you wouldn't think, because it's like, you know, you see him. He's one of those guys who glides. He's like he's in his 60s. Like
Yeah.
he literally glides when he's walking. Ultra refined. Imagine all the circles that he's been. But his beginning, he was selling clothes out of his car. He messed up. He created acid wash jeans. So everyone in the room, no one knew that.
Really?
So, yeah, he actually took, and he destroyed almost half of the washing machines in the laundromat in his neighborhood. No one knew. He was just experimenting and doing different things with jeans, throwing them in the washing machine,
Crazy.
and he was messing up all the washing machines.
Mm.
So it's funny that you know, obviously this is a worldwide brand, but everyone has a beginning, you know. And at some point, I love meeting entrepreneurs or high functioning people that are calm.
Mm.
You know what I mean? You know, when they have that composure, and I think what it comes down to, as you said, that you're learning, at some point they get in tune with who they are. You know, why you can't read a book on what makes you happy and like what you should do with your time, because no one knows. Like for you, it might be, I just need 5 minutes. I need to face a window,
Right.
and I need to close my eyes,
Mm.
right? And that's all you got to do. You just got to feel the sun. You're like a cat that lies
Right.
in the sun.
Yeah.
For me, I'm going to just take my blade, my rusty blade, and I'm going to just peel my apple.
Right.
You know,
right.
like people, it's the most random thing for random people.
I
They
agree.
just you got to have that moment where you come out
Right.
before you go in. Because if you stay in, man, then that's when you can drown, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
You need that time to yourself. Like for me, it's like I need the ocean. Like I love
Yeah,
Mm.
I'm
to
the same.
swim. Like swimming, even if it's a pool, I just hate chlorine. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
swimming is like the most. It's like the ultimate.
Like therapeutic.
Yeah, just because you can't have your phone.
Yes.
There's no
It's freedom.
electronics.
Yes.
It's freedom,
It's
man.
just
Yeah.
free.
You can
like,
float. You can even
Yeah.
float, right? And
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Like I'll go away and I'll literally spend like 4 hours
Just in the water.
in the water. I'll be so wrinkly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Rude.
We got a boy, his name's Miguel, big Trini dude, 6'5". He, no joke, can spend 12 to 15 hours in the water,
Yeah,
in the
man.
ocean. Like, I'm not even joking. He
Yeah.
will not come out. Yeah, he
It's
just
just the energy. You
Yes.
get, like I just get this energy.
all
You
wrinkled.
can't. Yeah, I love it though.
Has your work afforded you to? I mean, I know you travel, but has it been themed around your work as well? Like where you're just traveling the world?
Yeah, definitely. Like I lived at I grew up at Martin Grove in Eglinton
Okay.
for a part of my life, right near the airport.
Yes.
And my window faced the airport. So as a kid, I remember I would stand up on the furnace and look out the window and watch these planes go by. I didn't go on my first plane until I was 21.
Really?
Yeah, I never ever. I couldn't even imagine it.
Yeah.
I'm like on a plane, how?
Yeah.
How would I ever
Yeah.
afford a plane ticket? And I remember
Yeah.
we did this party, Guys and Dolls, and after the party, the DJ was like, Till was like, yo, I'm going to Bahamas in the morning. I'm going to go DJ. I'm like, you're going to Bahamas? I'm like, yeah. And this is when WestJet had these seat sales for like $90.
Yeah.
I just bought a ticket and I went. I remember I went in the water and I was like, I didn't even know what salt water was. I go out in the water.
At the
my
age of
boys were
21,
laughing
yeah,
at me.
it's your first time hitting
I
it. Yeah.
jumped in the water and I was like, yo, what's going on?
Wow.
My eyes
Your
are
eyes.
burning.
You know, like-
My mouth is like, what is this? And everyone was just dying of laughter. I was just like, yo, I don't know if I'm allergic to the water. I don't know what's going on.
It's
They're
different
like,
in
nah,
the
bro.
community pool. He's like,
They're
the chlorine in this ocean's crazy.
Yeah.
They're like, yo, it's salt water. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like, how, like, where does the salt come? Like, you know, just like these like questions, like a kid would ask these things, but I just never been anywhere. And then from there, this is actually the 10th year since that trip, and I've seen like a lot of the world.
Wow.
I've done Asia, I've done Europe, Caribbean. I went back to Africa to touch to my roots. I'm half African from Sierra Leone.
Okay.
I went to Sierra Leone 2 years ago and met my family there.
Wow,
Wow,
amazing.
man.
Yeah, I've traveling is like my number one thing to do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Have you been to Saint Martin?
I haven't been the same. I'm not a massive fan of like. I'm not an island guy.
Okay.
I like beaches, but I like beaches connected to like big cities.
Okay.
If that makes
the reason why I
sense.
bring it up is because I mean you referenced planes and stuff that they actually one of their airports is literally to the beach 10 feet. So
Wow.
you're in the water
Gotta
and the
check
plane is like 50 feet above your head, literally flying. It's a pretty cool experience.
It's along the beach, the airport.
Yeah.
Wow,
gotta
that's
check
Yeah, it's
it out.
insane. And what people do, like the dumb tourists, is that they go to the fence. So when the jets are ready to take off, they're just holding onto the fence, and the fence is like they say stay away from it because they're flying up in the air, holding the fence because the jet power is so strong.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see them. But some people have actually got really badly hurt.
Yeah, I can
the jet
imagine.
just flies them. I mean, just pushes them off.
They just are flying.
Crack. No, literally, Mary Poppins happening.
Listen, leave that to Tom Cruise, man. Only Tom
Exactly.
Cruise could be around a moving jet.
But I love traveling.
That's good, man.
It's definitely helped shape who I am today too.
Any spots that are so a lot of the stuff that you do with Get Fresh is in the Toronto market. Do you have an online store as well?
Yeah, we have an online store. We sell a lot to US as well.
Okay.
To the UAE, like Dubai. We do a lot of business there too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
What's awesome about that story is a kid on the furnace. It's funny how you remember these little details, right? Your warm feet.
Oh yeah, I
as you're
remember.
watching
Yeah,
that.
because my child, like, I almost look at it like I have two lives.
Okay.
Like I lived twice. So the era of my mom being alive.
Okay.
That's like one life,
Right.
and then it's like almost like BC and AD. It's like before, like when she was around, and
Yes.
then like after. It's like two different worlds. So I remember all like, that before. When my mom was there, I remember all that vividly. You know what
Yes.
I mean? I have to like train myself to remember all those things because that was like, you know, the best time of my life
Yeah.
was with
Okay.
my mother.
Yes.
Yeah, and
So
you
I
don't
just
want
remember
you don't
it.
want them to fade. You want to keep remembering.
Yeah, so I remember everything. Like I remember
Mm.
like her cooking to a T. I remember like cooking with her. I remember like going for. I remember everything. So I remember standing up on the furnace and her always yelling at me, "Stop standing on the furnace! You're gonna break the furnace. Stop standing on the furnace." I'm like, I'm looking at the planes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I wouldn't sleep at night. I would literally sit at my window and like just watch all these planes and like guess where they're going, and tell myself one day I'm gonna travel the world.
Wow.
And look, it's only fitting because the famous YYZ cap,
Yes.
YYZ cap, was made by Fresh himself. So, how did that happen?
I remember we were at the store, me and Photo Will, and we were like, this is when we first started going on trips, and we wanted to find a way to represent Toronto without having affiliation to a sports team.
Okay.
I see.
You
Yeah,
know, because
yeah.
I'm not really a massive sports fan. Like, I
Right.
love the Raptors, but I'm not going to tell you who scored how many points last
Right.
night, who got
Yeah.
a double-double or
Yes.
a triple. Like, I'm not like,
Right.
I'm not like big into sports like that. So I always felt weird wearing something and representing something that like
Yeah.
I'm not that knowledgeable
Yeah,
about.
you're-
For
yeah.
someone's in the airport like, yo, what'd you think about the game last night? I'm like,
I'm just wearing this for fashion.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's just make this hat. And there was like YYZ clothing around, but there was no like hats that had it. And I was like, you know what? Let's make the first hat
Okay.
that has it. And we did that, and it just kind of took off.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
ended up doing a collaboration with Toronto Raptors
Nice.
with that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I had to brush up on my basketball
yeah, yeah.
before I sat in the room with the MLSC.
Yeah. That's crazy. And you've also like, how often are you looking at like releasing a new line of something? Like, is it always in your mind? I gotta look. There's that whole thing about let me do this,
The
and then
the name's Fresh. I doubt he's ever stale.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
exactly. There you go, man.
I doubt it.
There you go.
I doubt it.
Where you just create something and then you're like, let it take off. But how much do you put time to creativity where you're like, I want to create something new and put it out and
Too much.
Yeah.
So You know, I feel like when you first get into anything, it doesn't matter what you do. You're like the biggest critique.
Okay.
You know, like before when you guys did your first podcast, you probably were like, "Yo, it's got to be like this."
Yes.
Yeah.
Only like this.
Yeah.
The
Right.
lighting has got
We
to
ripped
be
it apart. We
at
smashed the
this.
screen.
Yeah.
We hugged each other and
Yeah.
cried. Yeah.
We need cool white lights. We don't want any other white. It
Right.
needs to be a night. Like,
Yes.
you know, you have.
Yeah.
But then as you like grow, you realize like, bro, chill.
Right.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, calm down.
It's not that fragile.
It's not that fragile. And then you're like, I don't know if I want to put this out yet. I don't know if it's right. I don't know
Yes.
if it's perfect.
Right.
Maybe I need to look at it a little bit more. And then like you just realize you're just playing yourself. Like you're
Right.
just in your own head playing this game. Like you're your own enemy. You're your own competition. You're your own,
Right.
like you defeat yourself
Yes.
at all times. So it's like, I feel like now I'm kind of over that.
Okay.
And now we're just like, we come up with these ideas. We put them together. My team's like A1. I think I have the strongest team
Nice.
out of everyone.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
And you're going to see now things come out a lot more frequently. So every 2 weeks, starting like next week, we'll have a new drop.
Okay.
Before it was like we'd have like 2 drops a year, 3 drops a year. So
Right.
Every 2 weeks. Wow.
every 2 weeks. Yeah,
Something
just because
fresh.
it's like, we were thinking too much and we were trying to follow like industry standards and all that.
Yes.
But
Yes. You learn the box, right? And you start to think, okay, this is how it's done.
yeah.
Yeah.
But now we're just like, F it. Like, let's do what we want to do.
Nice.
Let's do what works for us. Let's made this for us. So,
What are some of your inspirations, like for fashion?
traveling,
Yeah.
1000%. Wherever I go somewhere, it's always like, man, I wish I had this. I wish I had, like we came out with this collection called Palm Tree Dreams.
Okay.
It was our 2018 spring-summer collection. And I went to Palm Springs the season before
Yeah.
for my girl's brother's wedding.
Okay.
And I always wanted to go to Palm Springs.
Yeah.
I'm like an old school guy. I
Yeah.
love like Rat Pack, Frank Sinatra.
Okay, nice,
Like, I'm
nice.
into like that whole old school
Yeah,
world.
yeah.
And I remember watching all these old Frank Sinatra movies and documentaries, and it was like, everyone's in Palm Springs with these fly ass resort tees
Yep,
right.
and like
Yep.
just stunting like glasses and like. And so when I finally went there, I was like, wow, it's actually really like this. I don't know if any of you guys have ever been to Palm Springs,
Yeah.
but it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's super old school, all the little flat houses. And I was like, yo, we need to come up with this collection. That's kind of like gives me this palm, like the same, all my inspiration I got from there. Brought it back, we designed it. And Palm Tree Dreams was my twist because it's like every Canadian, not every Canadian, because maybe not in BC, but at least on this side of Canada, we all have palm tree dreams.
Right.
Yes.
At least 8 months out of the year. Like it's May 13th.
Yeah.
It's cold.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
I bought a palm plant for my wife yesterday for Mother's Day because I love palms.
Yeah.
I got, for me, it's I need to see water. I need to see
Yeah.
palm trees.
Right.
Yeah. So traveling definitely inspires
Okay.
all the collections. And then like the names is just more like whenever you see us come out with, like our newest collection we're come out with is called International Rude Boys.
Right.
So the whole vibe behind that is kind of just like Toronto's super multicultural. There's all these people in the city and they're like rude boys. They're out here doing their thing, they're
Yes.
putting in work and like, standing their ground. So it's like our whole vibe is like playing off of that.
That's good, man.
And like how like there's people from Toronto making major moves
Yes,
internationally.
absolutely.
Right.
Like Toronto, like Torontonians are international rude boys. Like we're over there killing shit globally.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now you've also done a lot of collab work. I mean, obviously you said the Raptors, but with Puma and stuff like that. Do you have any like? Would you consider those like your those are pretty amazing accomplishments?
Thank you.
But do you have things that supersede that to you, or because some people are like, it's good. I mean, I've done this, I've done that.
No, those are like, I mean, being in business
Yeah.
to this day and still surviving is like supersedes all that for me. But
Right.
being like the Puma thing was bigger than people knew. I mean, it was big. We were the first Canadian brand to ever have a major sportswear collaboration like that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, like to work with Puma and be able to do that. We were the first, like literally within 30 days, The Weeknd dropped his shoe and we dropped our shoe
Mm.
from the same city. It was
Nice.
major. Obviously, The Weeknd's The Weeknd. We're not that big, but
Yeah.
we were shaking the same hands, doing the deals with the same people.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was good. But and the same thing with Toronto Raptors. That was major. I remember, like we were the second company to ever work with the Toronto Raptors. First was Drake.
Right.
So to walk into the arena and see, you know, OVO, Raptors, hoodies, and all that, and then directly beside that, see Get Fresh, Raptors in there.
Yeah.
And like we filmed a commercial, shot it in the ACC. Instead of just getting models, we picked all the top basketball players from I think 10 different high schools, put them in the commercial, and they were filming that in the stores around the arena and at halftime.
Okay.
And during foul times, you would see it on the big screen.
Nice.
So
Amazing.
for me, those were like, because it wasn't like a selfish moment. It was like, yo, look what we were able to do for this city.
Wow.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know what I mean? Look what we were doing. And then, like, you know, it's also all these moves and everything I do, I always try to, like, you know, work as hard as I can and achieve all these things, because I know there's a whole generation, either in my generation or older generation or younger generation, kind of watching what we do. And it's motivating, whether they think it's cool or not. But it's definitely, you could look at it and be like, oh wow, it's possible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, like it's possible, and like that's like something I always strive for. I never want to quit at any point. And I know when I'm doing something, I'm like, all right, it doesn't matter how frustrating it's getting. It's bigger than just me. It's bigger than just my team.
Right.
It's the city.
Look, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So, you know, Drake's showing that it's possible. Who would think that OVO would be called OVO Center, that the Raptors practice court would become OVO, that it would be branded that? That's crazy. Maybe Get Fresh Arena one day.
Yeah, honestly,
Raptors playing Knicks and Get Fresh Arena.
Or Air Fresh, right? You know, get you tonight.
Air Fresh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So, like, I'll give you a quick about how the Puma thing. That's what people always say. You gotta be careful what you say.
Yeah.
My boy Ramal, that I grew up with here, he moved to New York, ended up working with Rock Nation, handling the Trapstar account. Trapstar and Rock Nation work together. And Trapstar, a brand from UK, had a collaboration with Puma.
Okay.
And he was like, yo, I'm going to Paris for Paris Fashion Week. You want to come with me? I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right, cool. Flew to Paris, went there, and we went to their fashion show. They had like a fashion installation. Shout out to Trapstar. And I remember sitting in that room, and I was like, yo. And like for me, it's crazy. It's like Trapstar's 3 black owners.
Okay.
And like I've never met black owners of a fashion line ever in my life.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And especially at that level. And so they were in there. I remember the Puma people in there. Everyone was in there. It was such like an amazing moment. And I remember I said to myself, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna have a Puma shoe. And I told my boy Ramal. I remember,
there you
like,
go. That's why.
I couldn't sleep. I was.
If you say it, it's gonna happen.
Yo, I
prophesized. You prophesied.
I was in the Airbnb and I was like, "Yo, bro." He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yo, I'm a Puma shoe." He's just laughing. I'm like, "All right, bro, watch. You're laughing at me." He was like really laughing, like insulting. He was just like, "Yo, you're crazy."
Yeah.
I remember I came back from Paris and I walked in my office and told my team, "Yo, we're doing a shoe with Puma." What? That's so crazy. Really? How would this happen? I'm like, all right, we're not doing it yet. I didn't even talk to anyone from Puma. But I'm just putting it in the air.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
And my one guy, Hussein, who designs all the graphics, his thing, even when we came onto the team, he was like, I want to do a sneaker. That's my main thing.
Okay.
And I told him when I brought him on the team, I'm like, yo, we're going to do a sneaker. I had no idea how.
Right.
We were gonna do this sneaker. I don't know how to make a sneaker. I definitely didn't have money for making a sneaker, anything. And then I just kept putting it in the air. And then about a year later, this guy walks in the store, Caravana Saturday, which I'm never there. I'm always in the parade, but I left the parade early. And he walks in. He goes, "Yo, are you fresh?" I'm like, "Yeah." Who's asking? He's like, David Ballin from Puma. Gave me his card. He's like, yo, you know, we've been vetting out here. We've been wanting to do more work over here. And it seems like everything's leading to you, that you and your team are the guys out here, and we want to do a sneaker with you.
Wow. And your jaw just gone.
Okay, are you kidding me?
Yo, I'm dead serious, bro. I'm dead serious. I was literally like, I looked to the sky. Like, I don't know who to thank sometimes. I don't know if it's my mom. I don't know if it's God. I don't know if it's any of my boys that passed that are kind of, or they're all working together.
It's probably all
like,
of them.
You know what I mean? We got to make sure this guy's
fresh,
good.
Man. Keep him fresh. Keep things in front of him. This kid needs focus. Put things in front of him so he gets it done.
And like, I remember like, he, you know, I shook his hand. He walked out the room and I was just like, I'm pretty sure I cried.
Wow.
1,000% I cried.
Yeah.
Like I went to the washroom upstairs and I like teared up, and I was just like, yo, this is crazy.
Wow, man.
This is crazy.
That's
and
amazing.
I remember on Monday, everyone came in. I was like, yo, so we're doing a shoe at Puma.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, you told us. I'm like, nah. And I showed them the card, and like everyone just started
crazy.
freaking and
Yeah.
all that. I'm like, yo, we're gonna go to Boston, go to the head office in America, design the shoe,
Jeez.
all that, and it happened. And I was able to deliver that dream to Hussein. He designed the shoe.
Wow.
Amazing.
What an
man.
accomplishment, man.
Amazing.
Yeah.
These moments, right? Like these moments,
Yeah.
they make you.
See, these are the heritage moments, you know?
Yeah.
What I
You know
love
what I
about
mean?
moments like that, because it's not strategy or nothing. Like
Right.
that moment, what's so powerful about that? It's literally birth in belief, and at some point it just comes back to you.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like there's no way to orchestrate that. You don't even know. Did you ever find out from this Puma rep exactly who
Yeah,
vetted
so
for you? And like,
there was a guy, shout out Shoebox Mentality, who's from the city, and he was pretty much put our name forward with a few other people, but he was like, yo, these guys are the ones who are really out here
amazing.
doing the do.
Right.
Take a look at them. And then obviously Puma vetted us and,
Mm-hmm.
did their research, did their background research, and it happened.
Not all the time do you get to find out the link. Sometimes it just comes your way. You just got to be
Yeah.
ready, right? That's amazing, man.
It
That's
really
amazing.
is.
Yeah.
I hope you still have that Puma business card.
I do. I have the business
Frame
card.
it.
I have my flight, my itinerary printed from when I went to Boston.
Nice.
I don't have a scrapbook yet. Right now I just have like these folders.
Yes.
But my goal is to build this like scrapbook just so I have it, especially like, when I have children, I want them to look at it and be like, yo, or my grandkids or whatever.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This is what Pop did.
Yeah.
What would you? I mean, first of all, I think I know the answer to this only because of what you're telling me. But what would you consider the ingredients to get you where you are today? Like, if someone was to be like, man, what do I need? What do I need to do this to get to kind of replicate and go? And it doesn't, by the way, they don't have to walk into the world of fashion. It could be just
Hunger.
you find the hunger.
Yo. Are you hungry?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Like that. It's just that is the number one thing. There's a lot of other things to follow that, the discipline, the dedication, and
Right.
But hunger, some people have it, some people don't.
Right.
Some people have all the money in the world and can't do anything with it.
Right.
Some people don't have any money but have the hunger.
Right.
That's just what it is. Like, we never started Get Fresh with any money. We never started with a bank loan. We never started with it was shoebox money that started Get Fresh.
Right.
And it was like, it was just the hunger to be, even the hunger's still there. We got comfortable for a bit, but the hunger's back on. We ate.
Yes. Yeah.
We ate, but
Yeah.
now it's like, all right, cool. We're used to this. Now
Right.
we need more, and now we need bigger, and now we want more.
That's what you were saying off the top. You want to get back to the hunger that you had when you were young.
Yeah,
That
it's
they're-
trying to tap that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes I'll do like random shit. Like, I'll just be like, I used to eat sardines. That was like my life.
Wow. Like, did you enjoy that? The sardines? No,
I like sardines.
Yeah.
But I didn't enjoy it at that time because that's all I could eat.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So when you
Yeah.
wake up and you eat, when you're cracking open a can with a plastic fork, and
Right.
you're like, that's your like breakfast, and then you gotta wash that plastic fork.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And keep that plastic fork, and then lunch you're cracking over another one, and
Yeah.
then that, like that was that place where I was at my lowest
Yes.
in terms of like living conditions.
Yeah.
But that was a place where I was at my hungriest.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, sometimes I'll just go back to like my old ways. I'll go back to my old neighborhoods, and I'll try to just channel where I was in that energy. Like, I did a podcast last week, and some of the questions that they were asking me was kind of like triggering a lot of like those vibes. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And like right now, I'm like more and more in that state. Even talking to you guys right now, I'm more and more into that state, because I feel like it's easy to like lose yourself. I feel like it happens to like, whether you're an entrepreneur, doesn't matter who you are as a human. Like, it's easy to like, it's harder to stay on track, easier to fall off track.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, for me, it's just like staying on that track.
For sure.
It's funny, the simplest questions. If someone were to really just ask you, who are you? Who just stops and thinks. But, I asked this of a buddy of mine just last week. I said, what do you want? Just what I asked him, because
Right.
there was a lot going on. And I said, what do you want? And he literally stood there like stone faced for like like a minute, and he's like, I have no clue. Okay, so like, so if you think about that, all your like hunger, all these intangibles of like what it takes, but if you have no idea what you want or what you're trying to, right, then it's like, how do you pour it in? It's like, you know,
1000%. And I feel like it's like always readjusting what you want, because sometimes it's like, oh man, all I want is this, but then you get there, and then it's like, now what?
Yes.
And then you're like, all right, you know, I'm just gonna enjoy this for a minute, but then you just sometimes you like lose that, like, hey, what is it? Like for me, my number one thing is freedom. That's like my number one. I don't care to be like a billionaire. I don't care to be like I just want to have like freedom.
Right.
That's my main thing. I want to be free to do whatever I want. You know what I mean? Like that's
Absolutely.
my main goal. And then another thing that I have is like, I want to change or assist, help what's going on in our city in terms of like the gun violence, and in terms of like, you know, like not even just gun violence, like all these kids going to jail and like
just the systemic problems that we have.
That's like one of like, that's like something that's very, very, very important to me now.
I mean, growing up in the area that you grew up in, right? I mean, I grew up in Flemington Park, okay? Mike grew up in Ayrshire Scarborough. I mean, it's where you grow up as well that kind of like almost defines you as well, right?
Definitely.
It does that. So growing up and where you grew up in, and then knowing all that you've learned right now, connecting back, like you said, to kind of almost bring you back to that reset perspective, really helps you kind of move your path a little more clear as well.
Yeah, 100%.
I like this, man. I'm getting ideas. I'm gonna start shaving designs back in my head, put a little clips in my eyebrow. My wife's gonna be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Listen,
yeah.
It's all about channeling right now." Okay,
that's right.
Okay,
that's right.
There's a hungry 14-year-old in there that got things done. You know.
Yeah.
Everything that you do in your clothing line is dedicated to men, I'm assuming, because I was trying to find the I mean, it could obviously be
at
unisex.
First, but like, you know, you can put something out, but you don't know who's gonna chew it up.
No, you don't.
So it's
because
like,
I was looking at your stuff, and it could very well be classified as unisex.
some days we have more women walking in the store than men.
Oh, nice.
You know what I mean? So it's like, we call it unisex now.
Okay.
We're actually gonna start putting out a few women pieces this summer.
Okay, nice.
To see how it goes. I know it'll do well, but we're gonna start slowly, and like hopefully for sure by 2020.
Okay.
We're gonna have a percentage of the store will be women's wear.
That's good, man.
That's cool.
I mean, it's smart, and I mean, you also tap into kids as well right now, right?
Yeah, we do with children. I'm trying to do way more with kids. We had a kids clothing line called Air. We just had like a lot of complications with that, but we're about to relaunch.
Okay.
For 2020.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's next for you right now? Like, what's something that you're not doing at all that you want to sink your teeth in? Could be completely different industry. I mean, you know, just I like the way you think. That there's obviously you think down the road of what you want to accomplish. When you have a team too, you can attack anything.
Definitely.
That's what's amazing. When you
Really
have an A1
is, yeah.
team, like you literally can go. That's your corner. You guys can take on anything. That's the truth. You know, you never know which brand, which circle that you're in meetings with tomorrow.
Yeah,
that's what's so crazy about this world. So if you could sink your teeth in something totally new, different than clothing, what would it be?
Consulting.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Nice.
Consulting. That's something that we're slowly doing now. That we do a lot of different things. Like, you know, we don't just do fashion. We have an agency as well. It's like a B2B agency. It's called Devise.
Okay.
We do a lot of experiential marketing, do a lot of creative. Like, we've designed a lot of branding for a lot of these cannabis brands. We've done a lot of things.
Nice.
We don't promote it or anything.
Yeah.
It's just more B2B. But we kind of have our hands in everything. But, like, the number one thing that I want to work on is getting into consulting, and then just, like, community outreach. Like, really just, and not like just like speaking to kids and doing things like that, like actually finding physical ways, like trying to do more to like help everyone. It's like we had a meeting yesterday with Jagmeet, the leader of the NDP.
Yes.
Yesterday in Regent Park.
Okay.
It was about us and about 30 other like minority leaders in the community, and just discussing ways that we can help with gun violence and help
Be a part of
marginalized
it,
youth
yeah.
and all that. It was good. It was great. But that's something I want to tap into more because I just feel like we need it. Like I remember what it's like being 14, 15, living in these neighborhoods.
Yes.
Trying to like maintain, trying to like, you know, and now it's like, it's completely different.
Yeah, there's so many stories now, man, of what's
Yeah.
possible as an alternate. I think before, there was no hope before. I think that's what it came down to. Like, maybe someone knew someone, you know, along the way that might have got a scholarship.
Yeah.
But he screwed it up and he's back for the summer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean,
Yeah.
right? Like,
yeah, exactly.
you know, but more and more, there's just people touching. And
Yeah.
when you say international, there's some the Torontonian is poised and set up to take on the international market.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
but you have to like
Yeah.
they used to say, they still say, you know, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
If you can make it in Toronto,
Yes.
Yeah.
you can make it anywhere.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Point
Yes.
proven. Drake, Weekend.
Yes.
We have, I think there's 10 Canadians going into the NBA
Yes.
right
Yes.
now. You know what
Yes.
I mean? Like there's only 17 in the league. There's 10 about to go in.
Right.
It's crazy.
International Rude Boys. We're not playing.
Yeah, that's
I like
right,
that.
man.
I like
That's
that.
right.
I like
We
that.
are
Exactly.
not playing right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, you
No,
gotta make an
we're-
underwear like that, bro. Yeah.
Thank
I want
you.
an
I'll
international
take that
Rude
in.
Boy undie for real, man.
I'll
Yeah,
definitely take
that's
that
a
in.
good. That's a good. You know, boxer line
Yeah, man. But we're
band to
just,
see.
That's
we're
right.
just like, I feel like as a city, we just need to come together more, work together more, and like what you guys are doing is amazing. Because like one thing that I brought up yesterday was there isn't enough positive. There isn't enough media outlets for
Mhm.
people who are doing things on a local level
Right.
for people to see. Like you know what I
Mm.
mean? Like these,
Yeah.
like these kids don't get to see anything. You get to see like
No, I know.
whoever is super made it.
Yes.
But
Yes.
you
But-
don't get
but-
to see like the champions of their city
Right.
on a regular
That's
basis.
so
Right.
true,
No
man.
one's highlighting
That's so true.
that, and that's what they need
Yeah.
to see, because you need to know, being 14, 15 years old, doesn't matter where you're from,
Mm-hmm.
whether you grew up in a marginalized community or whether you grew up in a great community, it doesn't matter. You need to be motivated. You need to see.
You gotta be
That's right.
exposed. You gotta
need
be
to
exposed.
to it. Like, oh
Yeah.
crap, this is what's going on.
Yes.
It's true.
This is possible. Let me research this guy.
Yeah.
Let me see, or this woman.
Yes.
Let me see what's going on with this. Let me see how I can be a part of this. Let me hit this person up. Let me see if I can intern them, if I can pick their brain. What do I got to do?
Yeah.
Right.
When I was 15, no, when I was like 17, 18, I was down to do anything for free. You got me like that till like 20. Anyone who had me till 22
Yes.
was for free. I'll do whatever. Like, let's go.
Right.
You want me
Yeah.
to style? You want to do this? You need me
Yeah.
to carry? I sent, my boy was going through his hard drive yesterday, and he sent me a picture of me and Director X 10 years ago on a set of a Sean Paul shoot. I wasn't even styling it. A girl from New York, I can't remember her name. She worked for Atlantic. She needed like a helper.
Okay.
Pretty much like an intern, someone to run around
someone,
and
yeah.
do things. And my boy T-Rex, Mr. One Love
Yes,
T.O.,
absolutely.
yeah, he lined me up with her and was like, yo, I got this perfect guy for you, Jebril. He'll take care of you. And I
Yeah.
remember just like, he's like, yo, it doesn't pay, but it's a good look. I'm
He
like,
knew
let's
you
get
were
it.
willing to do whatever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Whatever it takes, especially back then. It's not like, I've never been a big social media guy. I'm trying to get on it more now because I see the impact it has for the kids. Other than that, I never really like, just really wasn't my vibe. Just kind of like showing off
Yeah.
everything. I never really care. I just don't come from that world, from that cloth. But now I'm like, okay, I see the upside to it. So I make sure everything I post is like super positive and,
Mm-hmm.
and not even just like the successes of things. I even like talk about like the negatives because I feel like everyone posts
Yeah.
new car, new this, new
Yes,
that,
yes,
new watch,
yes.
new chain, new this.
Red carpet. This.
Yeah,
this,
but it's
yeah.
not like, yo, actually, last month I almost went, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Went broke. And I was
Right.
like, people don't really open up. You just
Right.
know the successes, but you need to know the downfalls too. 'Cause
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just a highlight reel in a
You
way,
know,
right?
there's genuineness written all over you, man.
Yeah,
and,
man.
And I'll tell you this right now, that you're the real deal, man.
Appreciate
You're the
it.
real
Thank
deal,
you.
and I'm really, really glad, we had you on because you're truly representing, man, in very different areas, and I think people are gonna see this, listen to it, and be inspired, man, in so many different ways, doing something for the city, doing something from all levels, and then that positivity as well to bring that exposure is huge. I checked out your website, like I said, and you got some nice stuff, man.
Thank you.
Nice stuff.
Appreciate
I was
it.
actually looking to try to get that No Sleep with the Dealer shirt. You know what I mean?
Sold out.
Yeah,
But it's
sold
coming
out.
back.
Exactly.
Next Thursday, restock.
Nice. So I'm definitely gonna grab one of those. But I'll tell you this, man. I mean, it's always good to know that there, like you said, that there's people like yourself that are trying to do this. You know what I mean? That are trying to bring that light. To find out about how do we get to your store, can you just give it a little shout out to your location, how they can find you online if you want to store it online, all that stuff?
Yes, we are on the beautiful Queen Street West, 498 Queen Street West, located in Toronto. Website is gfctoronto.com. Instagram is at Get Fresh Company on Instagram, and my personal is at JBRJALLOH, JBR Jalloh.
Nice, very nice. Are you going to be franchising it, getting another location?
I don't know. Like, I feel like I want to keep the Queen Street location right now. The goal is to keep that because it serves so much more than a store. It's like a cultural hub.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You know, it's like,
Queen West is known as the most interesting street in North America.
Yeah. And we're trying to keep it that. I recently just joined the board,
Okay.
Queen Street West BIA, to help keep that alive, to be the coolest street, and to, you know, invest more into the community and invest more into the other shareholders on the street, because it's tough. You know, it's hard, like running a store, a brick and mortar, whether you're a restaurant, retail, whatever, on Queen Street. It's tough, especially when we have the winters like we do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Surviving the winter is a challenge in itself. If
Yes.
you survive winter, everybody give yourself a round of applause.
Exactly.
Yes.
'Cause it's
And
no
we're
joke.
still surviving it because that hasn't ended for us, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the goal is to keep that. Eventually, I would definitely love a mall store.
Nice.
I'd love, you know, like the Square one, the Yorkdale.
Yes.
A situation in Vancouver,
Okay.
and then LA.
Nice.
Yes,
There you
yes,
go,
yes.
man.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's the like long term.
And then
Yeah.
and then Palm Springs, you know,
Yeah.
maybe.
I think like if I was gonna like have any cool little hangout like that, it'd be in Europe. Europe is like my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any specific area?
I like Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's just
I don't even know where that is.
it's like South France. It's near like Monaco.
Yeah.
Where like right beside Cannes, where they do film festival.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like the only thing I hate is that the beach is stones. It's not sand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Different experience.
other than that, it's just beautiful. The food in Europe is like amazing. They don't
Yeah.
have like, you know, all the GMOs. and
Yeah.
all that
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
we have
Yeah.
or whatever.
Fresh.
Yeah. It's really, yeah. Exactly. It's great.
Yeah.
And other than that, Africa.
Yes.
Yeah.
I went back 2 years ago and that changed my life.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
I've heard that when you go there, you don't come back the same person.
Bro, that is going to be the only place to do anything in the next like 30, 40 years.
Mm.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
in there now.
Yeah.
Trust me.
There you go. You heard it here first. You heard it here first.
Trust me.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's like the only place left.
Right.
Yes, for something to truly
It's
develop.
true, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like pure. Like everything's just pure. Like you go there, being there, like eating the food there, the smiles,
Yeah.
the energy
The
from the
joy,
people.
man, the
Oh
joy.
my God.
Yeah.
I went there. It was Bob Marley Day. It was like how we treat New Year's.
Okay. Wow.
Is how they treat Bob Marley. They
Wow.
have Bob Marley Day, and I'm just like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no one works today. No one does nothing. Everyone's just outside blasting Bob
Reggae.
Marley.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, like, when I was there wasn't power for 6 days.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like people are pulling their cars up, putting on their headlights
Wow.
in like a circle, and everyone would get in the middle of the
It's
circle.
like the Still Dre video.
And
you know?
exactly,
Yeah.
and like they're playing the music from the cars, and everyone's just having a blast.
That's
and
Wow.
amazing.
I'd
dancing.
be
What a
sick to
moment.
film that, man.
That's
Oh,
amazing.
Yeah.
that was like one thing I was like pissed at. I'm like, man,
should've
I
filmed
wish I
that.
had.
Yeah.
Yo, but I
Capture
couldn't
that.
charge my phone.
I know, you're right.
There's no like
Yeah.
little things like that
Yeah.
you take in. Like I couldn't charge my phone.
You just got to be in the moment. Like,
Right.
Yeah, and exactly. I was more of
Be
like,
in the moment.
I don't know where my phone is. I didn't care.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
just like, yo, this is
This is
the
crazy.
most amazing thing
Wow.
I've ever witnessed in my life.
That's amazing, man.
It really is.
That's
It really
amazing.
is.
You're just giving me memories. One day when I was a young buck in high school, got caught up in the rain. And true story, got caught in the rain. And as I was passing by this car, I was with some buddies. And the guy was blasting his tunes. And in the headlights of his car, in the rain, right outside of Fairview, we just started jamming, like literally. So literally, like, you know, the you know that rain that is just like crazy.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about it is the guy in his 4Runner was blasting the music still, so it didn't make sense that we could even hear it. It's like that's
Okay.
how loud the guy's system was. And we just started jamming in front of the car, and then right in the intersection we just danced, and cars were just honking and like having some. They weren't honking at us. They were
Yes.
honking like they were enjoying it, right? You know.
Yeah.
To me, little things like that, just breaking the mold. You know.
Right.
Yeah, everyday life could be so mundane. Every now and then you just gotta take your clothes off and just run the streets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Vibes.
Yes.
Vibes.
There you go, man.
Vibes.
Craziness.
Looking at this video behind you, man, this city's so beautiful.
It really
Yeah, I
is,
know.
man.
There's
I
this
know.
video of the city, like on a, what is this?
I have no idea. We ripped a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, it's amazing though. It's
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
it lets you like
YouTube's
really
choosing it
appreciate
for
Yeah,
us.
YouTube's choosing it. Yeah.
Thanks to
I
YouTube.
mean,
Like, look at this,
yeah.
man.
yeah, it really
Our
is.
skyline's phenomenal.
I
It
know,
really is,
dude.
man. It
I
really
know.
is. Have you ever been on top of the Panorama Lounge or
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, that's sick. When you see those views,
Yeah.
man, it's just
It's
a whole different
amazing.
level.
It's great. You know, I like it better from. Have you been to Bisho Hotel
Yes.
at the Coast or
Yes.
Coast?
Yes.
However you say it.
Yes.
I like the view better from there.
Yeah, it is nice.
Yeah.
It is
It
really
is
nice
nice.
there.
We did some TIFF events there last year, and
Yeah, it's great.
really is.
It's great. The
Chopper.
city's great, man. It's we're new. We're coming. I feel like this is going to be. We already are the greatest city in the world.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
Yeah.
what we're in like 20 years, it's gonna be insane.
It really
We're
is.
just so young. People don't know that. Like people come in like, oh my god, it's so great. I'm like, yeah, wait.
I feel we are paving the way and setting that foundation for what you just described right now in the next 20 years. It's gonna be that
Oh.
place. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it was I have enough respect for you because as you're trying to, with one hand, you're trying to reach as far as you can go, and at the same time, you're still keeping your hand close to the ground. It's
Right.
amazing. As much as you're aspiring to do, you're also thinking of the people that you grew up around, those neighborhoods, those struggles, those kids. Like, I mean, that's the perfect expression of what it has to be. Do everything you can to break new ground
Yes.
and make something amazing for you and your immediate circle, and then also don't forget, you know. I challenge you, man, as you explore that stuff. I used to work in a lot of the different government housing neighborhoods in Toronto. Did for 10 years, and you only can solve those problems on those streets. It's the only way, and you're gonna have this amazing opportunity to be around some big players, big movers and shakers that are in boardrooms. They have no clue what goes on there, and you're gonna be that bridge, man. You know, like they will think, you know what we should do? We should have maybe a little basketball tournament and give out beef patties. Like, you know, it all sounds good, but then it's like one and done. We all know that it blows in, blows out, but nothing
Yeah.
changes.
And not everybody wants to play basketball.
No, I know.
Right.
You're right.
Right.
Exactly. But everyone
Right.
loves beef patties.
Yeah.
Everyone loves beef patties. I had one last
I got a
night.
business.
But do they love it on a cocoa bun? That's the thing.
It's up to you, man. It's how you want it. Did I ever tell you my business idea with beef patties?
No.
It's gonna change the world. Just
Okay.
watch this. Trust me.
Do it, man.
Yeah, we'll talk it off air.
Yeah, do it.
But yeah, just keep doing that, man. You're going just like Puma. Like, you're gonna find yourself with these major players that are gonna tell us, like, what do we do?
Yes.
They're gonna ask you. That's how you're gonna consult. That's one way
Yeah.
you can consult, because they're so disconnected.
Right.
They got all the resources in the world. They can kind of make anything happen in any moment, you know. But they don't know how to make it effective.
That's because they just need to hire our culture.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Stop hiring people outside of our culture.
Right.
To
Yes.
talk to our culture.
There you go.
Yes.
That is the biggest disconnect. America has figured that out.
Yes.
Like, it's not perfect, but Canadians haven't figured that out. Like, these corporate companies
No, not
haven't
yet.
figured it out yet.
Mm.
They're
No.
still like,
They're still following. They're following the traditional mold.
and it's
Right.
easy because there's so many community leaders. There's so many people in this city who like represent this culture on a major level, and it's like, you know, we're independent. Like, you know, we're not multi-millionaires. We don't have even the population to hit. Like, you know, it's not like we're
Yes.
in America or something. But it's like these companies, all they need to do is hire people in these communities. Like, do your research. If you sit back and watch for a year,
Yeah.
everything that happens in the city, what's going on,
Right.
you'll know who you want on your team.
Absolutely.
You know, there needs to be someone who's controlling these companies, the companies that at least speak to our culture. There needs to be someone from our culture in these workplaces.
They represent it.
Yeah.
They
That's
represent it.
That's
yeah,
right.
from the inside out, man.
Exactly.
From the inside out.
That's like, once that changes, oh man. It'll
Game
be
over.
Oh yeah.
Game over.
I say this when we would like to give a little Drake shout out because he controls so much in this city. Think about on the radio this morning when I was listening, driving in. They were trying to figure out, when did people become so proud of Toronto within the Raptors circle. They were just talking about the Raptors, talking about what's the most defining moment for the Raptors. And you know what they said? They said the time that they were most proud to be a Raptor fan was at the dunk-off.
Okay.
With Vince Carter in the dunk-off.
Yeah.
Which they said was quite bizarre because it has nothing to do with the game.
Right.
It's literally like an exhibition. It's literally a skill set exhibition.
Yeah.
But that was the one thing that we said. That's when people became proud to be a Raptor fan.
Yeah.
Right.
And people in the States are rocking Raptor jerseys because of Vince. Right. KD says on the regular his favorite player growing up ever was Vince Carter.
Right.
Okay. Which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Say that now with Kawhi doing his thing. The one thing that I think that they failed to forget, it had nothing to do with the court. What made Torontonians be really proud about being a Raptor fan was We the North. To me, that was the definitive thing. That because it's like we were always thought of like we're the non-American market. We're the non-American team. It's a perfect example. The Raptors represent at the core what Toronto is to the world.
Mm-hmm.
We're like little brother, or kind of like the cousin. We're that little cousin brought along in the NBA family.
Okay.
But no one really wants to go there. You don't make
don't
U.S.
want to
money.
with
us.
They don't have ESPN.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Their weather's bad. Like they say all these things, which is funny. Because we're the third largest market in North America, way bigger than other U.S. cities. But it's not America. I say that because I think that's what Toronto's gonna be. It will eventually.
1000%.
Once we start to own that image, and that's what Drake did when he coined that phrase, "We the North." We weren't trying to hide it or like try to apologize. Oh no! I know we got 10 months of winter, but our summers are hot, man. All of us.
Best place in the world.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's true. A lot of the NBA knows that.
Yeah.
We know that because we have them as clients. They love coming to Toronto in the summer.
Yeah.
I say that though, but the We the North campaign specifically made people proud.
Yeah, that was major. That was I feel like that brought a sense of community.
Right.
Yeah.
It brought everybody together.
And that's not a corporate thing. That's not a corporate thrust or a marketing strategy.
Yeah.
That's just some guy who has a pulse and frequency of everyday people.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's We the North. Okay.
Ah,
I don't know.
great.
I'm curious how that kind of came out because it's not even proper English.
Yeah.
But
I
that's
actually
it.
met the guys who made
Really?
We the North.
Okay.
There's
Amazing.
two guys. I forget their name. But they worked for an agency. I don't know I doubt they work there anymore.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's good. The Raptors are definitely we have a lot of good city representatives, especially Drake. Like
Right.
Drake is definitely
Ambassadors for the city.
I don't even use the word six to represent the city.
Yes.
Yeah.
But shout out to the six god. He's definitely
Yeah.
representing we have tourists who come in every day and like, we're here in the six.
Yeah.
Just out in the six.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's hilarious. So you guys call it the six? We call it Toronto. I'm from that generation.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm from six is like almost
Toronto.
like the newer version
It
Yes.
is.
of the
It
city.
is.
Where
Yes.
I'm from the
Yes.
Toronto's been popping.
That's right.
Yes.
People think like, oh my God, like look, like no. We've been.
Yeah.
This
yeah.
has been a thing.
That's
like
right.
15 years ago.
That's right.
We had the biggest entertainment district in North America at one point. Like,
Right.
This has been the city.
That's right. That's
People
right.
know it. Shout out Director X. He was like the first one
Yeah.
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
the city, holding the flag, holding us down.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think he's had like the longest running career
I know.
out of this city
You're right.
of running shit. Like he's been doing this since I was in grade. I mean, he did what? He was on set for the Big Pimpin' video.
Okay.
Jay-Z and UGK.
Yeah.
Like he did videos for Aaliyah.
Yeah, he's been a while.
Yes.
Yeah, he's been around.
Yeah.
Someone needs to give him a statue.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
There you go, man.
Yeah.
Look, bro, I want to say this right now again. Thank you so much for coming down. Learned a lot.
I think he's just getting started.
Yeah, man.
Like, you're just
Yeah.
getting started.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and to me, I'm excited to what the future holds and what you're going to be doing and just the way things are all going down, man. I'm really excited. Get fresh. Definitely going to check that place out.
Thank
and,
you. 498 Queen Street West.
that's
Come
right.
check us out.
rock some gear, man.
And bring a patty.
And
Bring a
bring a
patty.
patty.
Bring me
Yeah.
a patty.
Yeah.
Eat it outside because there's too many crumbs in the stuff.
I know. It's all good. It's all
That's the only bad thing about beef patties.
That's right.
I
Is
gotta-
the crumbs.
I
Like
gotta-
you eat it in your car, it's a wrap.
Yeah, exactly. It's true. It's true.
exactly.
It's true. Well, look, awesome, bro. Thank you so much. And like I said, we're excited to see what's coming down.
No, I appreciate you guys for having me here today. I really appreciate it. You guys keep doing your thing. It's amazing interview. Glad we got to do this.
Amazing,
Thank
bro.
you.
Thanks so much, man.
Yeah,
Awesome.
keep pushing the limit, dude. All right,
Beautiful.
Thank you.
peace.
That's a wrap.
Let's go!
Listen to this episode on iTunes and Spotify. Make sure to drop by next week. And don't forget to subscribe.
Let's go!
It's time to give a shout out to our sponsors. This podcast is brought to you by Sentinel Security Plus. For all your premium security needs, visit sentinelsecurityplus.com.
And The Substance Group for all your integrated marketing solutions. Visit thesubstancegroup.com.